Welcome to Spirit Boys.
Ooh. Welcome to Spirit Boys.
I'm Bonnie Jane.
And I'm Zen Jen. And you are listening to our Meet the Host episode.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
So yeah, we're just having fun with it.
Yep. But we thought that we definitely needed an episode that we could just talk about ourselves so you guys could know who the voices are behind the spirits, or in front of the spirits. Which would that be?
Around the spirits.
Around the spirits.
They go through like a basketball. We're the basketball hoop.
Yeah. So we're around the spirits. But yet spirits are around us.
That's true.
Ooh.
Many layers to this.
Onions. We're the onion. But yeah, we just thought that it would be a good chance to talk about ourselves and our own journeys with spirit and just who we are, so you guys can kind of get to know us. So we figured we would, chat about us as children and like who we were before even, starting our development. And then how we kind of got into it, and then what we're doing now. So yeah, I feel like Bonnie, Jane, and I have similar and different experiences with our childhood. So, like, my little child of the cornfields over here had a lot different experiences than City Girl over here. So, Bonnie, Jane, you want to chat like a little bit about your childhood?
So when I was really young, I had several experiences, definitely with nature, where I felt the spirits were present. But I do remember the first ghost that I have ever seen, and I thought it was a tooth fairy.
Aww.
So I was laying down, got ready to go to sleep, and in walks this white fuzzy figure.
Ooh.
Felt very loving, and I was so excited. The tooth fairy's here, and so I close my eyes and I'm so excited, but then it dawns on me that I didn't actually like lose
you haven't lost a tooth. Like, wait, okay, yeah.
So I opened my eyes and it was gone, but I was like, whoa. So but then the experience was so loving, maybe because I thought it was the tooth fairy, that I never developed that fear that some people might develop of seeing the spirit world. That actually just dawned on me just talking to you just now. So that's a possibility.
And you talking about that, I'm thinking back to when I was a kid that I had like a really high fever and had like a really scary like vision of like a dark like shadow of some kind. And I was like freaking out that some like dark entity or dark like just, dark something was in my room, and I turned the lights on and it was like a pile of clothes and like, a hanger, and like my conscious awake brain was like, oh, that's what I saw. And also when, you have a fever, you're like, your brain does funny things. So yeah, when you were talking about the light, I was like, oh wait, I did have an experience of darkness, but it was a high fever and junky clothes.
Really. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, what happens as children really can help form us. So it's really helpful to go back and kind of examine it a little bit. But I do have a lot of memories of just being outside, talking to trees, feeling really connected to Mother Nature. And by the time I was a teenager, I started to really feel connected to the spirits of the land and feeling them kind of talk to me. I learned to meditate really young, just because I just felt like that's what I needed to do. It helped me kind of through a hard time also. So I used to get made fun of because on the bus riding to school, I had a really long bus drive living out in the country. I would just meditate on the bus and
and travel in cars are the best time for that. That like trance-like state.
That's so true.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a really good time. And then I just started doing it outside too. And where I lived had a lot of cornfields and woods, and would be hearing children laughing randomly in the cornfields.
And that didn't scare you?
No, it was weird, but
you're like, oh, that's fun.
It was like, because I mean, clearly no children are out there. And then a couple times I heard drums, and then I told my dad, and at first he didn't believe me, but then he started hearing it too. And so, it kind of turned into this acceptable thing to talk about a little bit more. And so Yeah, and then at slumber parties, which I know we'll talk about here too, like I
Yeah.
just, the Ouija board and the
Yep.
Liza Feather stuff as a board, like we talked about before talking here. But it was just like a fun experience, and
But you
um,
let it, right? Like you kind
yeah,
of just knew how to like do some of those ritual things you said.
yeah, like I don't know where that came from. But at one point I was like, yeah, I know how to run a seance, guys, and I really didn't. Like
But you just kind of felt like, yeah,
I just
I'm
felt
going to
like I
do this.
did. Yeah. So we would all sit around a table and we'd light candles, and it would be kind of this goofy moment of connecting with spirits. Like, people either didn't take it serious or they took it very serious. And I was kind of half in, half out, took it serious and not. But I really felt like these energies were very present
Yeah.
and would speak through us, which sometimes was really fun and sometimes it was very serious. So,
Yeah. See, I was on the serious side when I was a kid. Like friends would be like, "Ooh," or like act scared
yeah,
or like just laughing and I was like, "This is real." Like I'm
yeah.
here for it. I want to talk to these people or like, being able to lift other people up. I was like I just knew that it was possible. Like that these
Hmm.
things could happen. So,
Yeah.
but I just think it's cool that you kind of like felt as though you knew how to do it and you let it almost like with some of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wonder if one of my past lives I was a spiritualist,
Yeah.
because
It's that
just,
knowing.
yeah, I just had like some sort of knowing. And then my friend Lindsay and I, we would both do it together too. So a lot of learning and growing, and then eventually finding myself as in the pagan path, and
Mhm.
delving into that even more and developing that way spiritually. So that's been kind of like my upbringing when it comes to spirit communication.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like nature has to be such like this big factor in connecting with spirit because I do feel like as a child too, like I was always drawn to nature being such a space of like restoration and peace for
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
So, you being out in the country and having that ability all
Mhm.
the time and as a child talking to the trees and
Mhm.
nature, like I just think there's such like a gateway or maybe just a high frequency with
Mhm.
nature be as like such a good like conduit or just open
Absolutely.
door for it.
Yeah, when you have that freedom to explore, you get to know certain spots in nature have certain frequencies to tune
Yeah.
into. So I would know, like, if I'm going to go write poems, I need to sit by the pond, or if I'm going to go,
Hmm.
do this and this activity, I need to go to this other place.
I feel like it's probably because as humans, as our human experience, like we're all holding our own thoughts and our own emotions and our own frequencies, whereas nature is
Mhm.
and can provide that space of aligned frequency for, like you said, writing poetry or deep
Mhm.
meditation. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what's coming to me while we're chatting about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I personally feel in my childhood, I was born and raised St. Louis,
Mhm.
Missouri, in the city county areas. Was very fortunate that my parents would send us away to summer camp though, and
Mhm.
that was definitely my like happy place, getting to be out in nature in the woods. Yeah, I wasn't I didn't have any of those like heard a family member talk to me or those experiences, but I did
Mhm.
have a lot of times as a child, um, I would just say things that like are way beyond the age of that child. Like it just felt like these wisdom dropped in, and
Mm.
it felt like I wasn't even talking, but I didn't
Wow.
even question it or like know what was happening. I was just like, cool, that sounds right. And like I would freak out like some parents sometimes. Like one time a parent was
Yeah.
like, huh, how would you know that advice kind of
Wow.
a thing.
So
So
they would be mystified a little bit and
yeah,
in awe.
yeah, but it'd just be like, yep, okay, keep going right along.
Yeah. So you felt like you were possibly channeling at that moment,
Yeah,
speaking those things. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a talker and so my spirit guides must be talkers. So
Same.
they're like, we want to share our wisdom with this person.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do remember that I would make up songs all the time. I would swing. I'd be doing my swinging, and then I would be singing. And I still
Mm.
say that now to my youngest daughter, who's 7. When we swing, I'm like, "That's the time to sing too." And we make up songs on the swings
Aw.
together. But I did feel like I think the swinging put me in some sort of trance state
Oh,
where I was
yeah.
able to channel songs.
Well, it's the relaxed state. Like a
Yeah.
baby likes to be swayed, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what keeps you calm and regulated. It's kind of that same concept. Like we talk about this when we'll talk about like developing your mediumship. It's all about kind of getting into that relaxed state. And so for
Mm-hmm.
you, swinging, and for most people, swinging and
Mm-hmm.
swaying gets you into
Mm-hmm.
that relaxed state, relaxes your nervous system, because yeah, we all have the ability to do it.
Yes.
And a lot of people talk about meditation being a good avenue because it gets you into a relaxed state, but some people aren't good at meditating, or
Yeah.
are new, and so there are other forms we realize that could
Right.
help with
Yeah.
getting you into that relaxed state to be able to open up.
That's right.
So yeah.
That's right. Which makes more sense. Like while I was meditating on the bus, I think I was in a relaxed state, just the bumps
Yeah.
of the bus and the sound of the car and then dancing. That was a big thing for me too. And I think you too, right?
Yeah.
You loved
I was a
dancing as a
dancer.
kid. Yeah.
Yep. My dad would play the piano and I would just dance, just let my body move, and that was very like just
Yeah.
special and fun time. Yeah, I think all those like creative arts
Mm-hmm.
also is like a great avenue.
Recognizing that it is us letting spirit of love just channel through us too,
Mm-hmm.
being connected and open to that.
Ah,
Absolutely.
I like that idea, the spirit of love.
Yeah, love of life, love
Yeah.
of creativity. We are
Yeah.
divine beings ourselves, being able to create these moments for ourselves and others.
Yeah. So what age would you say for you did you like start really being like, okay, I want to like dive into this or interested, or when do you kind of like learn more about it?
Yeah, well, as an early teenager, I started off with being like, I think I'm a witch, right? Like
Mm.
I'm talking to spirits on some level, and I was communicating with nature, and I could feel like all this power within me. So I started maybe more walking along that path, and which is a beautiful thing. However, with spirit communication, often I found on that path was you had to do such and such thing, light such and
Mhm.
such candle, or like it would be all these material things you would use to help you communicate, or it would also be like this shroud of mystery around it. And I knew that that wasn't 100% correct for me. So when I moved to St. Louis, I found a spiritualist church. So I was
Mhm.
30 when I moved to St. Louis, and I just could tell my heart was like, just try this out, just try this out. And I
Ah.
go and I just feel like this angelic vibe in the whole church. Nothing scary going on at all, just all love, all wisdom. And I was just felt really called to develop more seriously the ability as a medium, just for myself, just
Wow. So
just
you
to
just kind of found the church, like you kind of looked it up, the spiritualists.
Well, I remember reading a book by Sonia Choquette who
Okay.
was about tuning into your angel guides, your
Mm.
joy angel guides. And at the time when I moved to St. Louis, I'm like, I'm going to try out a lot of different spiritual communities, because
Yeah.
I just feel like exploring at this point and
Mhm.
finding my tribe, if that even exists. And I knew I wanted to try the spiritualist church at some point because I always felt like I was a natural medium, but never really truly developed it. And so I just felt my heart pull of go
Ah.
there, go there. And then the first
Yeah.
time I went, I was like, just keep going, just keep going. That's what my heart was saying. And then of course I met you.
Wow. I just love those stories. Like I feel like I mean, we've known each other now 10 years.
Uh-huh.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even you probably have told me, but I forgot just that story of like how you even found the church. I just think it's so cool when we listen and like get those moments of like,
Mm-hmm.
just do this, or like you really put that intention, like I want to find my tribe, because I did
Yeah.
the same thing. Um, for me, like kind of moving forward with my kind of
Mm-hmm.
background, in 2006 and 2007, I went to massage therapy school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. It did not feel like the path for me. I was like going to become an elementary school teacher.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh,
Actually,
I was going to be an elementary school teacher too.
oh,
I didn't know that about you.
yeah, I could see both of us doing that at some point in our life, but I'm glad we didn't.
Go on,
Yeah.
go on. Sorry.
No, but I actually had like a pretty big like breakdown, like
Mm-hmm.
severe depression, and it just was like I was just not in the right place, and went to like an outpatient care program, and there was these like midday lectures, and one of them was on like words of affirmation, basically, and like yeah, like, and we'd learn these like words or like things to say, like phrases. And that was like the thing that resonated with me most. Like I would say these phrases, you know, like I am not my thought, or like I am not what now I'm drawing a blank on like some examples, but I actually painted some of them. But yeah, just like the power of words, the power of thought. And I was like, yes, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
But this feels right. And it really helped shift me out of the depression and kind of getting back into, my natural state. And then I feel like, for me at least, like I have these family members that I call, earth angels, where like they're kind of your higher self or your angel guides, but they are here with you. And my mom was the one, through other people was like, what about massage therapy school? And that just like super resonated with me the more I learned about it. I actually had never even had a massage before. I was 19 years old, but I played sports and was always super interested in keeping the body healthy. And so that was kind of my background with it, and was always a very like nurturing, compassionate kind of a person.
Yeah.
Loved helping others. Loved movement and touch over sitting at a desk. So I went to massage therapy school, and then ended up being just as much about massage as it was energy healing. And I just picked that up right away. Like, yep, this is real. This is amazing. And I enjoyed it, and worked and did that for a little bit. Found my way over to San Diego, California, wanting a different experience, and went there with one of my best friends while she was in grad school, and made the strong intention of like, finding my people and learning more about energy healing and spirituality. Had a group of spiritual women. One of them, channeling and letting me know that like I was going to be a medium, which at that time I didn't know anything about really. So I started kind of like diving into that, read the book, To Be a Channel, or How to Be a Channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And found it super interesting. And when I kind of got the knowing, this is long-winded story back to the kind of when you just kind of have that feeling and that knowing, it was time for me to move out of San Diego, and I needed to come back to St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Like, I got to go, I'm in paradise right now.
Wow.
But I strongly got a message that it was time to come back to St. Louis, and I was to start my own business 100%, not work for anybody else, but just fully dive into my own practice.
That's so brave of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was this weird, like, I also felt ready. Like, it was like, yeah, okay, I've gained enough years of experience. I knew more about like who I was and what I wanted to like study and provide for the clients. Learned a new energy healing modality while I was out there. And I remember getting this message, and I said, okay, I will do it, but on one condition, that I find my spiritual community right away in St. Louis. Like so when you talked about, you were looking for your tribe, I was too.
Yeah.
And that's how I found the Fifth Spiritualist Church was, got connected with someone who was a business person and into tarot cards. He got me great in the business world while I was starting my own business, as well as the spiritual world, and connected me with other kind of spiritual people.
Right.
Who introduced me to this, let's go to the Fifth Spiritualist Church because so-and-so was getting their, certification or doing something where we went and saw them. And then I met, Andrew, who was the teacher at the School of Metaphysics.
Yeah.
And so within a matter of a couple months, I had made 10 to 15 spiritual friends.
Yes.
In this class. And they knew of the Fifth Spiritualist Church.
Yeah. And
that's how I got led there. And then, boo, 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 meeting Bonnie Jane in class.
Which I guess really wasn't that much longer after you had, because when I met you, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so popular. She has so many friends.
No, I literally just had met them.
Which is true, by the way, about you, but it's just, everyone loves Jenny. But it's, that's just amazing. That dawned on me this year too, when we were talking about it more in depth, that it really hadn't been that much longer that you met me after you
No,
came here. But I love how like your story is like you asked the universe to provide you something, you know, to give you that extra reassurance you were on the right path. Like, please just introduce me to my tribe right away. You know?
I was like, I knew what I wanted to do, so
yeah,
it needed to continue.
right.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
And I remember going into the class, and I think we had gone a handful of times to this mediumship development class.
Yeah.
And Bonnie Jane was there.
Yeah.
And she's just this really nice, quiet girl. And I was like, you know, we're around the same age. And you just seemed really sweet. Like you had such a nice light around you. And the friend that I was with at the time, we were like, and we will be her friend.
Oh, thank goodness, because I needed a friend. I
Yeah.
didn't know anyone in St. Louis yet, and you guys were definitely my little heroes in that case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
So yeah, it was Kevin was our teacher at the Fifth Spiritualist Church, and we love Kevin.
We love Kevin. He's like Yoda.
Yeah, he's our Yoda. And let's see, how long?
It wasn't long we were there with him.
Just a few months?
Yeah, probably only a few months, and then we ended up having classes at his house.
Yeah, he left the church, and we went, and we would drive an hour to where he lived outside of St. Louis. Every Thursday night. And yeah, he would have our own little class. Whoever showed up. Sometimes it was just us. Sometimes it was more people.
Yeah.
And we continued learning and developing from him.
And he really took it to the next level for us, because at the Fifth Spiritualist Church, we mostly focus on mediumship of connecting with a past loved one. But at his house, we did channeling.
Yeah. And he was really big into the cabinet.
The cabinet. Let's talk about what the cabinet is.
Yeah.
So I would describe it as kind of like a closet that you would sit in, but it was built up in a way to be the structure that you could move around the room if you needed to. But it had a chair in there, and it was just this idea of that's where you go to practice channeling. It kind of contains the energy a little bit. At the time, we were kind of taught that. And also the spirits know, okay, you're here every Thursday night. I'm going to be here too. And it was just this nice, it just felt like a portal you were stepping into, but it was completely dark. Yep. And then everyone would sit outside the cabinet and ask the spirit questions, and then you would channel them through you.
Yeah. I miss doing that.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, now we can channel. We don't need a cabinet or anything like that. But I think it's like it's this fun spiritualist tradition that can still hold weight, I think. Yeah.
And it did feel like just we committed to the time, we committed to the date, we showed up. And so it did feel like that, just that repetition made it even stronger.
Yeah.
Which, fast forward to today, we still do commit to a certain time and place and whatnot.
We do.
So, yeah. So we did that with Kevin.
For years.
Yeah. And then you had a baby.
I did.
That threw us off a little bit.
Yep. And then COVID.
Yeah, and then COVID threw us off a little bit.
Yeah.
But when life got a little more hectic in our real worldness, we kind of started randomly here and there, still like, quote unquote, putting together our little groups or our classes at either my house or your house, or, you know, we would just gather and.
Yeah, when we could.
Yeah.
And then it was probably like almost 3 years ago, you were like, I'm ready to do this more like regularly. I think your kid was like a year old or something at the time. Probably.
Yeah, and then I had a baby.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I have currently a 4-year-old and pregnant with number 2. Yay! So as I'm talking to you all, I'm on 36, almost 37 weeks. So, you know, it'll be along with me on this journey with letting the second little spirit through. But yeah, we're kind of like, you know, we're regular people. And, you know, just life, we understand, can sometimes, quote unquote, get in the way, but really we're just flowing with life.
Yeah.
Things we recognize can change. But yeah, for the past, what would you say, 3 or 2 years, we've been pretty consistent?
2 or 3 years, yeah. Having it like every other week.
Yeah.
Meeting with a group of people, and the people kind of come and go a little bit, but we have like core people that show up almost every time. And we just practice these mediumship skills together. We've gotten ideas from books. We've gotten ideas just from classes we've done. Often we just download from spirit what they think we should do, and we try those things.
Yeah.
It's been really wonderful and wonderful for the people, like just to see their
Mm-hmm.
developments and how much they feel supported. So we really want to encourage our listeners to form a group, find a group.
Yeah.
It's so validating for yourself when you put this into practice with other people.
Yeah, because you definitely, yeah, you can get the validation. And I think it's also just like such a wonderful community of people
Yeah.
to be able to openly talk about this stuff, because I think there is still so much stigma and like woo
Yes.
woo and weirdness around it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the words like haunted and like
Yeah.
think possessed, or
Yeah.
all the like just a lot of the fear and negative associations with spirit,
Yeah.
when in actuality it's love.
It's love.
It's love, it's wisdom, it's support, it's all this amazing things that if you shine light on that and bring
Mm-hmm.
that, talk about that, and then you could be having such like a rough day
Yeah.
and then come to our group and feel so much better.
Oh, yeah.
We could be exhausted.
Yeah.
Ed hadn't slept with our, a night
Yeah.
with these young kids in our lives, and then we felt like, oh, I'm so glad I came to our group.
Yeah. Like I remember when we would drive out to Kevin's, I lived, by the way, an hour and a half or 2 hours away from
Yeah.
Kevin's. And so I wouldn't get home till like often midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have to work the next morning. But
Mm-hmm.
something about doing that just energized me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of filled my cup, and we were in deep, deep trances too, part of the night. So that kind of felt like rest in itself.
Yeah.
So,
and then getting together with a friend and talking and
yeah.
driving again kind of gets you into that just trance-like
Yeah.
state.
So we really want to give it a shout out to Kevin.
Yes.
Just if he's listening, we love you and
We
thank you for all
appreciate
you've
you.
done
Yeah.
for us. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what's the future going to bring? What do we see there?
Oh man. Yeah. Well, currently, should we talk a little bit, I guess, about who we are currently and what we're
Sure. Oh
doing?
yeah. Good
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, definitely we already brought up that we have created this mediumship class group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been great and going really well. And then here we are on our podcast.
Yep.
So this is kind of like our current and future endeavors, as far as Bonnie Jane and I doing mediumship work in some form and capacity, putting it out there into the world. But yeah, I, Zen here, have been, like I had spoke about, a massage therapist and energy healer for now going on 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my own private practice. And I would say currently, adding more of the spiritual mediumship aspect into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think through doing massage and energy healing, have, always been able to listen to the body and share messages with what the body's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But now that extra level is like, sometimes I also can connect with their loved ones or their guides
Mm-hmm.
or their healers,
Mm-hmm.
and really bring them into the sessions and work with them and share messages. So now my sessions aren't just massage and energy work sessions, but I also am blending in my mediumship into the session. And yeah, kind of what I say is, first and foremost, my sessions are based upon my client's needs.
Mm-hmm.
But that, yeah, whatever is meant to come through will also come through based upon my client's openness and their desires. Sometimes you just want a massage.
Yeah.
And then other times
I'm guessing the person a little bit better before you're like, hey, so-and-so is here. Do you mind if I give you a message?
Sometimes yes, but then also I'll always, even if it's a new person, I'll say, hey, this is what I'm getting. Are you open to it?
Yeah.
We always, want the consent of the other person. And my main goal in my sessions is for relaxation, so I don't want to freak anyone out.
Yeah.
But I would say anybody that's coming through normally is pretty open to receiving that message. Because I think spirit knows that, right? Like they're not going to come through and share anything unless the person would be open to it.
Right.
Especially at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I love how you have that freedom. I don't as much in my profession as a counselor, but I will often feel sometimes a spirit come through.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of me saying, so-and-so is here, of course, I'm not going to do that. It's more of like, we will talk about so and so, and
Mm.
I'll be like, I wonder what they would say right now to you, and I wouldn't fill the blank in. It just already at that point, I can feel energetically they've made the connection to so and they already get the message. Like we don't have to like go in that realm. But for the last, I don't know, 6 months, I've been doing mediumship sessions totally separate from my other profession. And I have a website. It's called spiralheartspirituality.com. But basically, I offer singing mediumship sessions for people, also psychometry if you come in person, and that's been really fun. But as far as the singing mediumship goes, I lead my clients in a guided meditation that I channel just for them. And then there's a song in there from spirit just to them. It's all unique. And I never know what I'm going to channel, of course, ahead of time. And often I don't know these people who reach out to me. But it's been really wonderful to see grow and be able to, be interacting with people in that way. And spirit, trusting my spirit team that this is what I need to do. Because singing, I've been doing since I was a kid. I was in a band briefly, in my 20s. And I know it's still something I'm needing to do,
Yeah. I love when I get to witness my friends kind of like find their thing, like that's your thing and that's your thing. And then you blend it and you're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing and sharing.
And when I first did this, I was doing free sessions for people at first. And I was like, oh, wow, this feels so aligned. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yeah. And it just goes to show you listeners, like, nobody has this all figured out right away. Yeah. Like, we're telling you stuff that we've been working on for the last decade, and then you just like slowly find your thing, your and it kind of unfolds, and we put out our desires. Like when we started meeting each other and when we had our little classes, I remember saying like, we're going to be in business together one day. Like we have to like do something with this together. And we had no idea how that was going to look 10 years ago.
And I was probably pretty resistant because I remember like the first time I went to class, Kevin was like, oh, this is how you do professional mediumship. This is what you say sometimes, or, how you introduce yourself. I'm like, I'm never going to do that.
Professional, yeah.
I'm just learning this from myself. Yeah. And here I am.
Yeah. Bonnie Jane has always, I feel like you've definitely had more of that resistance to like kind of really putting yourself out there with this.
Yeah.
I mean, and with your background, you're a therapist. Yeah. There's so many legality, things with your profession. Yeah. Whereas mine in the massage and energy world, I have a little more gray zone, like in some of the stuff that I do. So it's pretty easy for me to blend. Right. But I know you always had resistance on how you could put yourself out there in that way. And I'm so proud of you for putting yourself out there now.
Yeah, it's so worth it now. And, I've also discovered in myself that I think I was fighting this fear that people would see me as illogical.
Right. And you're in the more heady positions.
And not even because I'm a counselor. I think just because of like how I grew up and everything. And I think it was like, oh, I can't let people see I might seem illogical to them in some ways, and I want to be perceived as smart. But lately in this last year, I'm like, you know what? I need to let that go because sometimes I'm not very logical, but it makes sense to me. Yeah. And it aligns energetically to what I'm feeling spirit wants for me right now or for others I'm interacting with. So that makes more sense to me.
Love it. And see, me, born and raised free spirit, very strong-willed, strong-minded. I thought whatever felt right to me was right, and I never questioned it.
I would do everything that felt right was right for me, but I would do it like behind closed doors, if that makes sense. I'd be very closeted about it. Yeah.
No. And I'm an oversharer, so if I think it's cool, I'm going to let other people know about it.
That's why I needed to meet Jenny.
Yeah. I mean, that's divine friendship at its best right there, right? Like two different people and aspects blending together and bringing out the other aspect of the person. So
yeah. So where do we see this heading? I see us doing some psychic fairs.
Yep.
I see us eventually, hopefully, touring around a little bit. Ooh. And putting on channeled sessions and singing mediumship for people.
Love that.
And
travel mode.
Yeah. And also doing more like official formal classes in the future for other people. So
I would love to promote like meditation or like online, Zooms or webinars to really be able to spread just all this out for people.
Yeah.
I just think the more people we can kind of connect with and touch, which is a big part of this podcast as well, but just providing that light and that peace and the love and just the relaxation and connection that this kind of work can bring for humanity, I think is important.
It really, really is, because I think it's so important that you have some sort of sense of connection and community. That's very healthy physically for us, not only mentally, just to have that connection. And so when we see people come to our group, it's like their eyes are opened and they feel that support, and they stop doubting themselves, and they learn how to tune in and listen to their intuition and trust what the universe is telling them and bringing to them, and making light of it, seeing that light.
Yeah. Connecting to spirit world as well as just like their own bodies.
Yeah.
And because our bodies hold the wisdom of what you personally need and, your soul and spirit in general.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are going to be some great future things. And I'm already excited where we are in the present.
We're happy in the present for sure.
Yeah.
You're going to have this baby.
Yep.
So I think things are going to be kind of similar to what they are now for a little bit. And and then,
realistic.
Down the road, we'll do some psychic fairs and things like that.
No, I love you thinking future. I love it.
Yeah.
Because we should always think growth mindset and bigger and what's next.
If that's what you want. Yep. And that's what I feel like Spirit has in store for us and a lot of people. So I think mediumship itself is going to be growing here pretty soon as more and more people figure out how vital this is.
Yeah. But you guys are all along for the ride with us.
Yeah.
So this is where we are now. This is who we are. A little taste of that. So now you know who kind of you're listening to when you tune in to Spirit Voice.
Yes.
I don't know. Anything else that you want to share?
I think just overall for me, the whole process really helped with anxiety, because to know that life continues after death is such a gift to know that wisdom.
Some people really fear death.
Yeah.
I don't have that, so I don't understand it, but that's I hear that.
Yeah. And when you form these groups, when you're getting this really important evidence that's just beyond doubt, this is not coincidence, right? Like, it's very specific things often that you'll get. You're like, oh, there's definitely life after death. Definitely.
And it's just also so healing, because if anybody has had a loved one who's, a big impact on their life pass and transition, and that grief that comes along with that feeling of quote unquote loss.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, loss in the physical. We can't get the physical back. But when you can connect spiritually in spirit to the person and recognize that they are always with you and that they can share messages and, have a conversation with you, the immense amount of healing that can come from that. When we give a message to someone from a loved one and you just see that person cry, that happy tears cry.
Right.
That's so powerful.
Right.
So I think the healing aspect that mediumship brings to let people know that their loved ones are with them all the time, anytime.
Right.
Is huge.
Huge. And I know like our listeners won't see that side of us very much on this podcast, because we do a lot of channeling from like spirit guides.
Yeah.
But when we do practice together in groups, there is a lot of evidential mediumship going on where we provide that extra for each other or people that we contact in our readings also. So for clients. So yeah. Thank you so much, Zen for being a part of my life.
Well, thank you guys all so much for listening and tuning in to yourselves and Spirit Voice. We'll have more episodes to come, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions for us about the podcast, about ourselves, about our services. Bonnie Jane shared with you her website. Mine is ZenGenSTL. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you find us through Spirit Voice. And our email address and website is spiritvoicepodcast.com
at gmail.com.
and then at Gmail for the email.
Yeah.
So yeah, any way that you can find us, really, we'll get back to you. Comment, like, share, subscribe so that you guys can keep up to date with all these podcasts that are coming out. We will have other guests come on. That'll be exciting. So you'll be able to get some more information. We have Olivia Bracken coming on soon, giving us some astrology knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Chinese New Year coming up.
Yeah. And you might not hear my voice as much if early maternity leave happens, but I will be back, and we will keep doing this bi-weekly.
Yeah.
And see where it takes us.
Absolutely.
So, Bonnie, your sign off.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.